Hey, what is up you guys, it's Yubifier, and today we're going to take a look at the new character, YANFEI. How are we going to build her, what she is like, what she does, etc. So let's just get right into the video. YANFEI is the very first mage character that actually piqued my interest. She has a very unique game mechanic that not many would understand at first. Overall, she's a good character and very fun. It just takes a little time to get used to. Now, a lot of people call her a budget Klee or a copy pasta Ningguang, but honestly, I feel like she has her own very unique characteristics. If you're debating whether to pull for YANFEI or if you got YANFEI along with pulling Zhongli and you're wondering if you should build her or not, you definitely should. Now let's go ahead and take a look at her game mechanics. So whenever you basic attack, which is very fast as to compare to Ningguang, it's just a straight line towards the enemy. And as you are basic attacking, you build up these stacks that build on top of her, as you can see right here. And as I do a charge attack, then it wastes all of those stacks in order to boost her attack even more. If we take a look into her talent Provisio, when YANFEI consumes a Scarlet Seal by using a charge attack, each Scarlet Seal will increase YANFEI's pyro damage by 5%. So if you have 3 stacks, that will mean you will increase your pyro damage by 15%. And this effect lasts 6 seconds. When a charge attack is used again during the effect's duration, it will dispel the previous effect. So let's go ahead and take a look at it in action. So as you can see here, I have 3 stacks on my YANFEI, and the reason how you can tell whether you utilize your full stacks correctly or not is if when you do a charge attack, it will show a number on her. And you can also see a little bit of the buff upgrades on her as well. So if you take a look here, I only have 1 stack built up. If I do a charge attack, it shows only 1 there, meaning that I only have 5% bonus increased for my pyro damage. If I have 2 stacks and I do a charge attack, not only will it show me that I had 2, but that would mean that I only increased my pyro damage by 10%. So once again, you want to try to utilize all 3 stacks in order to utilize her full potential. So like I said, she is very similar to Ningguang, but in my opinion, it is much more easier to use her. Now let's go ahead and take a look at her animation cancel. In order to animation cancel with YANFEI, all you have to do is just very simply attack as soon as the 3rd animation comes up. So this is going to be the normal. But in order to animation cancel, so as you can see on the left side that as soon as my 3rd attack landed, I then did my charge attack. But on the right side, as soon as my 3rd attack started, that's when my charge attack was already on its way to hit the enemy. Next up is going to be her charge attack. Now if you take a look at her talent Blazing Eye, whenever YANFEI's charge attack deals a critical hit to an opponent, she will deal an additional instance of AoE pyro damage equal to 80% of her attack, and this damage counts as charge attack damage. So seeing it in action here, if I do a charge attack, whether I have stacks or not, you will see the talent being in effect here. So if I did a charge attack, as you can see, I did not crit on that one, meaning that it was not going to activate. But maybe on this one, or the next one, there you go, you can see that additional pyro attack. Now that you understand a little bit on how her stacks work, now let's go ahead and talk about her E. What does her E do? As you can see, I have no stacks on my YANFEI right now. If I did my E, I get all 3 stacks right up away, and this plays into a really cool role on how YANFEI plays. So one of the very simple combos that you can definitely do is you basic attack until you get all 3 stacks, You do that, you E, you get all of your stacks again, and you're able to do your charge attack once again, which makes her very fun and one of the most interesting characters that I have ever played. So once again, you just do your simple combo of 1, 2, and 3, pop down your charge attack, you do your E, and you do your charge attack again, dealing massive damage. Now let's go ahead and take a look at her ultimate. What her ultimate does is that it does pyro AoE damage as soon as you press it, but this is where one of her stacks come in play once again. As soon as you activate her ulti, you automatically get 3 stacks with her. As soon as you use up some, it starts to build up again. And it builds up again. And it builds up again. So for a set period of time, her ultimate is going to build up her stacks, meaning that you don't need to auto attack as much as you need to. But using your ultimate doesn't exactly mean that you could just spam your charge attacks. As you see, I am legit spamming all my charge attacks, and I'm only getting 2 stacks right before I get 3 stacks. So I'm not getting the full potential of her damage, so I'm losing out on damage. Now if you can't spam it, then what do? The ideal way to use her ultimate is to use it, do your charge attack because you automatically get 3 stacks, but during the intervals where you are gaining the stacks through your ultimate, you want to be attacking at least once and then doing your charge attack once, do your charge attack once, and then do your charge attack again. That way you can actually be able to get full 3 stacks instead of just getting 2 stacks and just wasting your damage. This is why she is the very first mage character that I am genuinely interested in to actually bring out into the field and play in. Now let's go ahead and take a look at my YANFEI. So these are her stats with the critical rate at 60% and the critical damage at 120, keeping it as a 1:2 ratio. As for the energy recharge, it's 132 and the pyro damage 79. So let's go ahead and take a look at the weapons that I am using on my YANFEI. Of course, I am using the Witzith on YANFEI, increasing my critical damage by 55.1. Now the only reason why I have this weapon on her is, yeah, you can already tell that I don't have a lot of catalyst weapons leveled up. I'm not really a fan of catalyst user, but ever since YANFEI did come out, I'm really tempted to level up all of these and test them out. So if another future video of YANFEI comes out, it could be a weapon comparison video. Let's go ahead and take a look at the artifacts. There are 2 possible artifacts that can be used on YANFEI. One is definitely the Crimson Witch, or 2, which is the Lava Walker. Now of course, the other artifact set that I really recommend would be the 4-piece Wanderer's Troop, which will give you an increased charge attack damage by 35% if the character is a catalyst or a bow user. But the only problem that comes with using this set is that it is very hard to obtain the pieces that you want. For example, I have been playing this game ever since launch, 6 months into the game, and I have yet still gotten a single piece that is critical rate. As you can see right here, all I have is just critical damage, and not a single piece is critical rate helmet. You can only obtain the Wanderer's Troop through Spiral Abyss, bosses, or even weekly bosses, and you can't really technically farm for them. Yes, you can go ahead and just farm bosses to try to get these, but it is very hard to get the piece that you want and the set that you want for 40 resin every single time, and you only get 1. So this is of course the ideal set for YANFEI with the Wanderer's Troop, but once again it is very hard to obtain. That is why I would suggest you, if you don't have Wanderer's Troop, you would go for the Crimson Witch of Flames instead. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the 3 main pieces, which are the Hourglass, the Goblet, and as well as the headpiece. So for the Hourglass, you'd want attack percentage. I have tried it with the Elemental Mastery, but you definitely want the attack percentage over the Elemental Mastery because of her talent, Blaze Blazing Eye. Once again, whenever you hit a charge attack that deals critical hit to opponents, she will deal an additional instance of AoE pyro damage equal to 80% of her attack. So this is why you would rather want attack percentage on her hourglass rather than elemental mastery. As for her cup, of course, this simple pyro damage will do perfectly fine. And for the headpiece, I really highly suggest you to increase your critical rate, because once again, the more times that you crit on an enemy, you will be doing that extra AoE pyro damage. Let's go ahead and take a look at her constellation. Now, if you are trying to aim for constellations, I really suggest you to go all the way to Constellation 2 or Constellation 6. Or even Constellation 1 if you want to. So as you guys know, with her first constellation, this can really help her with two of her biggest flaws. As for her Constellation 2, this really helps you to ease up a bit on the critical rate. So instead of focusing a lot on critical rate, you could focus a little bit more on the crit damage and not really have to worry on getting the critical rate or the substats you need for YANFEI. And for her sixth one, it increases the maximum number of Scarlet Seals by 1. So instead of having 3, you have an extra 1, increasing your damage, increasing everything that is good about her already. Let's go ahead and take a look at the talents. The talent prioritization that you want to be using is definitely the first one, which is her normal attack, and then goes to her elemental skill, and then her elemental burst. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the team combinations you can put along with YANFEI. Of course, you can put 2 pyros. You can even change this to either Xinyan or Xiangling to make that even possible. You don't have to use Klee, it doesn't really matter. And you get that extra 25% attack, making her charge attack a lot more better. And of course, Shinchu for the elemental reactions, as you guys already saw with his ultimate and YANFEI's incredible combination of attacks, is just off the freaking charts. And then for Zhongli, he literally fits along with any freaking team. Like, he is so good. Zhongli can be able to provide the shield that is needed for YANFEI, and of course decrease their elemental resistance. Not only that, with the new artifact sets as well, it's able to increase YANFEI's attack as well. But overall, this is the team that I suggest you to go with if you have these characters or something along these lines. Of course, you definitely can use Beidou and YANFEI as a combination of characters to be able to pull off the ultimate and YANFEI's combos. But of course, the very big downside to this is, of course, Beidou's ultimate needing so much energy particles to the point where it's kind of not really worth taking her and just replacing her with Shinchu instead. But of course, it still does not stop you to be able to put down 2 Electro on the team to be able to increase Beidou's energy recharge rate or something along those lines as well. Of course, you can even have her as a sub DPS. Let's say, for example, you're maining Hu Tao. Once your Hu Tao elemental skill is down and is on cooldown, you can quickly swap to YANFEI, do whatever you need to do, and then quickly swap back to Hu Tao. Super simple and easy to use. I just have to say that YANFEI is one of the best 4 stars that has come out. She's absolutely insane with her playstyle. She's so fun and she can deal a lot of damage. She is super simple to build. All you have to do is just put down a 4-piece Crimson Witch of Flames, and yeah, she's pretty much done. I am very curious to see how she will deal in Spiral Abyss. Once Spiral Abyss does refresh, I will be doing Spiral Abyss with YANFEI at twitch.tv/Yubifier, so make sure to go ahead and hit a follow and get notified whenever I go live. But anyways guys, I hope you guys liked that video. Please leave a like and comment down below if you have any questions or concerns. I will try to answer them all. And if you guys could also hit that subscribe and bell notification too, that would do me a huge favor. It's been Yubifier, and I will see you guys next time. Peace!